Shalom, everybody, and thank you for joining us today. And we're going to do a special series of kind of preparation teachings about the upcoming festival of Rosh Hashana. And so we wanted to just kind of give you an introduction tonight about what it's all about. And then over the next couple, 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to do a few more of these little videos just to kind of explain more about what it's about. So thank you for joining us today. My name is Rabbi Harel Clint Fry from Beit Shalom in Pozzuoli, Naples, Italy. And so today we're talking about Elul and Rosh Hashana, which is the high holy days which are coming. And it for some people it feels kind of ominous. So I would like to ask you a question first of all. How many of you are excited about the days of awe? I know I am. I love these times of the festivals coming up toward the end of September through the beginning of October. Now I don't know about you. Maybe I shouldn't maybe say this, considering I do teach the Torah and the Bible for as my living. But each year, some people dread these days. I don't, but they do, and I find it a little sad, really. And so I want to kind of talk about how should we spiritually prepare for Rosh Hashanah. So some people dread sitting in the shul, which is the school, for hours and hours, trying to do their best to pay attention. But kind of a lot of people like to space out, maybe fall asleep even. So the prayers are in Hebrew, but even in English, there's a lot of poetry, and it's difficult to understand and relate to for many people. Uh, I'm kind of sad about that, really. Um, and sad also that these days are supposed to be really important, and more often than not, many people don't prepare. I know I've caught myself unprepared in the past, or maybe I don't feel well enough prepared, and so that I can understand and follow everything. But while we're kind of on the topic of maybe some people feeling guilty, these days are very difficult to relate to for many because of the guilt that they feel. Rosh Hashanah, Happy New Year by the way, is a day of judgment. Okay, Yom Kippur, which is after that, is a day of repentance. And it's like a guilt fest for many people. Okay, so each year many sit, think about how horrible we've been over the year, and we resolve never to be horrible again. Except how many people really do Teshuvah Gemurah, or complete and utter repentance, and then they walk away from the sins, and we repeat them over and over again, right? We know that we're all sinners. So I'm supposed to make myself feel guilty for my failures, and I try to do Teshuvah. But really, I know that I'm just going to sin again. So I feel guilty that my Teshuvah isn't real Teshuvah. And that kind of makes me not want to do Teshuvah. And then I maybe feel guilty for that. It's just too much. But what if I were to tell you that Yom Hadin, that judgment day, isn't even in the Torah, at least in the first 5 books? These words, they don't even appear. They don't appear later on until the Bible, when it does talk about it in the prophets, and obviously in the book of Revelation. For those of us who are Messianic Jews, we do know that there is a day of judgment. So that's it. If you don't think there's a day of judgment, let's cancel the shul. Let's all go on vacation, right? Not quite. So the sages are the ones that teach us that Rosh Hashanah is Judgment Day. But what I want to suggest is that the reason why you can't find Judgment Day in the Torah is because judgment isn't the true essence of the day. And until we understand what Rosh Hashana is really about at its core, we're not really ready to observe it. All right, so many aren't ready to do it right. So we're going to go into a guide about what Rosh Hashanah is all about. And if you join us on this adventure, give us a few minutes each day that we're going to do this, and we'll help kind of show up to the shul on the high holidays, feeling ready, and we'll explore the essence of what Rosh Hashanah really is all about, and to see how it might help us stand before God and before ourselves not feeling the harshness and the gloom of guilt, but truly celebrating and even looking forward to these holidays. We'll talk about prayer and how to understand davening. We'll discuss the shofar and why we blow it and what we're meant to think about and feel while we're listening to the shofar. Now, we all also know, though, as Messianics, we know that no matter what we do, we can never be good enough. And even Yeshua himself said that we're all sinners, all fallen short of the glory of God. But we want to thank that Yeshua, that he himself took our guilt away for those of us who actually believe in him. And he says, those who believe in me will be saved. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one may come to the Father except for through me. So we don't need to dread any kind of day of judgment. Okay, those who do not believe obviously do need to have some dread, need to have some fear. And it's sad, but this is the truth. So as we're going to go into these next few lessons that we're going to be doing over the next 2 or 3 weeks, we're just going to go a little further into what Rosh Hashana is and its meanings, okay, and how you can prepare for it. It is beautiful to celebrate the high festivals, the high festivals of Judaism, and they are actually part of the biblical feasts. Okay, so thank you for joining me today, and I hope you have a blessed evening. Shalom.